You believe in God. Deep down, you remember when faith felt close, when prayer was natural and you felt safe in His presence. But now, a quiet ache lingers, a distance like a chasm between you and Him. You feel marked by your past, burdened by shame, convinced you're not worthy. Yet what if His light never faded? What if it's been shining for you all along? If these are the kinds of questions you have been asking yourself, then this video is for you, my friend. I am going to show you a story directly from the pages of the Bible that just might help you remember how much God loves you and is waiting for you, so be sure to watch until the end. The story you tell yourself is a heavy one. It's a narrative filled with chapters you'd rather rip out and burn. Not after what you've done, you think. The words echo in the chambers of your mind, a relentless refrain of your own perceived failures. Each mistake feels like a brick added to a wall between you and God, a wall that now seems impossibly high. You replay the moments, the choices, the words spoken or left unsaid. You see them not as past events, but as present realities that define who you are now. They are not just things you did, they have become your identity. This story makes you feel like an imposter among believers. When you hear talk of forgiveness and redemption, it sounds like a beautiful language meant for someone else. You feel like you're wearing a costume, pretending to be someone you're not. You carry the weight of your past like a hidden cloak, terrified that if anyone saw what was underneath, they would turn away in disgust. And you project that fear onto God. You imagine Him looking at you with disappointment, His face turned away, His heart closed to you. It's a painful story to live in, one where you are the villain, the lost cause. This narrative of unworthiness is isolating. It convinces you that you are uniquely flawed, that your sins are somehow worse than everyone else's. Not after the mistakes you've made, the voice of shame whispers again, more insistently this time. It points to others who seem to have it all together, whose faith seems so effortless and pure. In comparison, your own journey feels messy, broken, and hopelessly complicated. You believe you've disappointed the one person who was supposed to be your constant, your rock. The guilt is a physical weight on your shoulders, pushing you down, making it hard to even lift your head. And now, you feel like you don't belong. You don't belong in His family, in His light, or in His love. This is the final, crushing conclusion of the story you've been telling yourself. You have accepted this verdict as truth. You have resigned yourself to a life on the fringes, close enough to remember what His love felt like, but too far away to ever feel it again. Your heart aches with a longing to come home, but your mind is convinced the door has been locked and the key thrown away. But what if the story you've been telling yourself isn't the whole story? What if there's another chapter you haven't read yet? The feeling of failure is a relentless echo in a quiet room. It's not just one mistake, but every wrong turn playing on a loop in your mind. You carry it with you, a shadow that clings to every step, making each new challenge feel like another chance to fail. You promise to be better, but in your own eyes you've failed Him. It's a subtle shift in identity, seeing yourself not as a child of God who stumbles, but as a failure trapped in shame and longing for freedom. Comparison is a prison. You see others shining, their faith so bright, and feel your own weakness. The bars are forged from your insecurities, polished by the perfect lives you see. You convince yourself God's love is limited and you're at the back of the line. But the key to freedom has always been in your pocket. God's love is a gift, not a prize. Deep beneath the layers of shame, there is a quiet, persistent hunger, a longing you can't quite shake. It is the hunger for home. You remember what it felt like to belong, to be held in a love that felt unconditional and safe. Now that ache is a spiritual homesickness within you. The idea of returning is both terrifying and beautiful. What if the only requirement for entry is to be hungry? Let me tell you a story. A young man restless in his father's loving home demands his inheritance, craving freedom, not relationship. His father, heartbroken, lets him go. The son leaves, convinced a better life awaits beyond the horizon. He is finally free, or so he believes, chasing excitement, trading steady love for the world's promise, unaware his path leads not to freedom, but to bondage. The son arrives in a distant country with everything he could dream of: money, freedom, pleasure. He dives into wild living, chasing every thrill, surrounded by friends drawn to his wealth. But slowly the shine wears off, the parties feel hollow, the laughter empty. He has everything, yet feels more empty than ever before. When the money runs out, so do the friends. He's left alone, with nothing but regret. When famine struck, the young man lost everything: money, hope, even his dignity. Desperate and alone, he was forced to feed pigs, unclean animals for him, longing to eat their food. He had hit rock bottom, utterly broken and forgotten, haunted by the memory of the home he'd left behind. In the mud with the pigs, he finally comes to his senses. The party is over and regret hits hard. He remembers his father's house, not with anger, but with longing. He decides, I will go back to my father. Not as a son, but hoping to be a servant. And so, broken and unsure, he begins the long road home. While the son walked home in shame, the father was waiting every day, scanning the horizon, hoping for his return. His love never faded, undiminished by the son's mistakes or the long silence. He wasn't waiting for an apology, but to embrace his child. This is a picture of God's heart, waiting, watching, always ready to welcome you home. The father sees his son far off, broken, filthy, ashamed, but instead of waiting, the father runs, shattering all expectations. He embraces his son before a word of apology can be spoken. The son tries to confess, but the father interrupts with love. He hugs him, kisses him, and silences the shame. In that moment, grace overwhelms disgrace. The father's embrace says, you are home, you are loved, and shame has no voice here. The father's love doesn't stop at an embrace. He calls for the best robe, covering shame with honor. He puts a ring on his son's finger, restoring authority and belonging, sandals on his feet, declaring freedom, not servitude, no probation, no penance, just instant, total restoration. The father's actions erase the past and declare a new future. This is grace, not just forgiveness, but celebration and honor. The lost son is not tolerated, he's treasured. The father throws a feast, killing the fattened calf. This is no quiet welcome, it's a public celebration. My son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. The return is resurrection, not just homecoming. God's joy erupts when the lost come home. The party isn't for the perfect, it's for the prodigals. In God's house, the greatest joy is the return of the lost. The prodigal story is about the Father's heart, a grace that defies logic. Your shame is no match for God's grace. The Son brought only brokenness. The Father brought restoration. God isn't waiting for your perfection, just your return. His love is a gift, not a reward. Every failure is covered. Every debt is paid. The verdict is grace, not guilt. God's grace is always greater than your past. God isn't waiting to reject you, He's waiting to welcome you. Your unworthiness is the invitation, not the obstacle. Grace is for the broken, the lost, the hungry. God runs to meet you, not to condemn, but to embrace. You don't need to clean up or rehearse, just come. The invitation is for you right now as you are. The celebration begins the moment you turn toward home. I want to speak to the real you, the one with secret aches and quiet fears. If you feel unworthy, God still wants you. Let that truth sit with you. The feeling of unworthiness is loud, but there's a whisper of grace saying, I still want you. Your shame tells you to hide, but His grace lifts your chin and says, look at me, I love what I see. You are never too far gone for Him. Listen, you are not disqualified. The world is full of requirements, but God's kingdom is different. Your past doesn't disqualify you, it qualifies you for His grace. The heroes of faith were broken people, met by a gracious God. He is the Father who runs to meet you. You are wanted, you are loved, come home. Here is the invitation. Come back to God exactly as you are. You don't need to fix yourself first or have all the answers. Lay down the heavy burden of shame and guilt you've carried for so long. Imagine what it would feel like to let go, to breathe free, to be loved as you are. The path is clear, the door is open. All you have to do is take the first step. The first step is often just a whisper. It doesn't require a church or perfect words, just an honest heart. God hears the whispers of the broken as clearly as the anthems of angels. When you pray, you're not alone. The Father is already running toward you, arms open wide. This is the beginning of your restoration, a new journey home. The journey out of shame and back into grace is the most important you'll ever take. It's the end of your exile. It can end in the Father's embrace with the sound of celebration. God's love isn't based on your performance, but on His character. He's been pursuing you all along, waiting for you with a love that never wavers. Your place at the table is set. Come home. The final comforting truth is this: you don't have to be perfect to come back, you just have to come. This is the essence of grace. It meets you where you are, not where you think you should be. It doesn't demand perfection, it invites participation. It doesn't require you to have it all figured out, it just asks for you to show up with all your doubts, all your fears, and all your broken pieces. The journey of 1,000 miles back to God begins with a single, simple step, a whispered prayer, a turned heart, a decision to stop believing the lies of shame and to start trusting in the truth of His love. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and for the first time in a long time, the first voice you hear is not the accuser, but the advocate. Imagine the quiet peace that settles in your soul when you know you are home, that you are safe, that you are loved unconditionally. This is the life that awaits you. It's not a life free from struggle, but a life free from condemnation. It's a life where you walk not in fear of judgment, but in the security of a Father's love. Your past is no longer a weapon used against you. but a testimony to the incredible redemptive power of His grace. This is what it means to live in grace. It's a daily walking in the knowledge that you are fully known and fully loved. It's understanding that even when you stumble, you fall into the arms of a Father who is always there to lift you up, dust you off, and set you back on your feet. The party for the prodigal wasn't just a one-night event. It was the beginning of a new way of life, a life of belonging, a life where every day is a celebration of being found. That life is not for someone else. It's not for a better version of you. It is for you right now. So come tired, come broken, come empty-handed, come with your doubts and your fears. Just come. The Father is on the porch, His eyes on the road, watching and waiting. He sees you even now while you are still a long way off, and His heart is filled with a compassion that will run to meet you, an embrace that will cover you, and a love that will bring you all the way home. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to come. Grace is waiting, home is waiting, He is waiting for you because grace still speaks.